If you like to talk about combat sports and you want to join the discussion, click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it and join Knucklehead Nation. Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to another episode of the FightersRep video podcast, hosted by yours truly, the FightersRep, and today I have a fantastic guest, a coach, the owner of one of the best gyms in Southern California, a pioneer from right here, right near in Long Beach, none other than Gerson Grilo Schinlipacke. How are you doing, Coach Gerson?
Hi, George. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you for the awesome introduction, too. I feel flattered.
Oh, well, absolutely. You know, Gerson, I had the pleasure of meeting you not too long ago and had the opportunity to work with you and a fantastic fighter out of your stable, and Anthony Workin, who competed for us on our co-main event. Just a great team, a professional team. And, man, I feel really blessed. I mean, what kind of brought you to Long Beach, of all places? Let's start there.
You know, I'm moving to the US in 2006, and I first based in Huntington Beach. You know, I teach in few gyms around the Huntington Beach between 2006, 2007, 2008. And then towards the end of 2009, I had to find a place to open my own. It was the time to open my own gym. Yeah. So Huntington was my base, but Huntington, you know, is so crowded of gyms, and to start there, I say, you know, I prefer find a place around here, but a little bit open, you know, as a gym, you know, like, so I'm looking around the other cities, but Long Beach was the one that was catching my eyes, and me and my wife decided, you know what, let's looking for Long Beach for real. Then we came here and found an awesome place on the first try, and that was our base since then.
Man, it is a beautiful city for those that have not been there. Gerson, I'm not going to lie, you know, I come from out of state. I'm actually from Miami, Florida is where I'm from. And, you know, all I ever heard on, you know, on the radio and rap songs was Long Beach this and Long Beach that. And I didn't know what to expect. But when you go to Long Beach, I mean, it's one of the most beautiful cities that I've seen.
Yes, you know, Long Beach have a bad reputation. I don't know why. You know, even when I was looking for places, people from Huntington was like, oh, man, that is dangerous. Oh, there, don't do it. That is not going to be good. But, man, we came here, we fell in love with Long Beach. It's a really good place where we live in, especially like Belmont Heights, Belmont Shore area. The Long Beach is a really good area, really clean, good people. All our clients is from here, but even like we have most clients from North Long Beach, where they have a bad reputation, is all great people. Yeah. Our best clients, the old school clients, is all North Long Beach. They're coming here, and man, it's great. It's a bad image that people have outside. That when you are here, you find out how good this city is.
And especially your gym. I mean, it's in a really nice area. Another interesting thing about your gym, Gerson, is like it's right across the street, I believe, from a high school. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
So I mean, you've got access to a lot of young talent that might want to one day, you know, become fighters.
Yes, we was expecting more, you know, for be real. Long Beach, we are here in front of the Wilson High School. We have a lot of clients from there, a lot of kids coming from there, a lot of former students, you know, like already. We are here for 10 years, 11 years almost. Wow. So there's a lot of kids here that already have a family right now. But we still have good numbers, but the school is not too supportive with us. Yeah. You know, we came as a MMA gym back in the day, you know, 10 years ago was a little different than it's now MMA, you know, had a little rough reputation. Yeah. Then the wrestling coach was against MMA. You know, we had to conquer our space, show like we are not a cage fighters gym, we are a martial arts gym. You know, we help these kids with discipline and everything, and not just teaching them to fight. And then now it's all good. You know, now we have more support from the community, and I've been good in the past 5 to 8 years.
Very cool. Well, Gerson, obviously I sense an accent there. It sounds like a Brazilian accent. For those of for those of us watching that don't know you or where you're from, kind of talk to me a little bit about that and what brought you here.
hmm Yeah, I'm from Brazil. I'm from Curitiba, Brazil. Curitiba, everybody knows, is the city famous for the strikers in Brazil, the shooter box uh, city, hometown.
Yeah.
I'm grow up there. I'm moving here. I already was a grown man with 30 some years old. What brought me here for real was I was looking for a change in my life. I have a good life in Brazil. I always had my good family, good friends, but I was a little bit out of control in the last years. And to be that kind of person in Brazil is dangerous.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't live in so long, if you keep in that rhythm, I had to break that rhythm. And nothing better than move completely out of your friend zone, your friendships, and recreate your life. That is why I came here.
I see. I see. So, maybe you were involved in some rough activities down there or something.
No, I don't have the problems with the law, like I was good family,
Yeah.
I don't have the problems with the money. I don't have the problems with the drugs. I don't have the problems with the gangs, but I really I was liking too much the street fighting, like,
Ah.
go, Curitiba is a rough city, everybody training, everybody fighting, it's tough there. So then people know you training, people know, then start the challenges, and you're
Oh.
coming from my background, like shooter box, you can't back out from nobody. Then it's a snowball that grow when you see you find one rhythm inside their life that is not good for you and not good for who's around you too. So
I
that was
understand.
change.
I understand. And, when you came here, I mean, did you have kind of ambitions or dreams to become a fighter? Did you want to become a coach? What was it that you were looking for?
Now, when I come in here, I already was far away from fights. I had it like years before, like around the 2002. I had a retina detachment in Brazil,
Ah,
and the retina detachment turning a secondary surgery for it, then turning it was a few. I already go through 5 surgeries in my right eye.
wow.
That started in 2002, so there was the end of career for any fighter in that time. Even now is basically end of career. That time
Yeah.
it was like, that's it, you can't even train. Doctors even don't want me to train in that time because any contact in the eye, I could go blind. End up basically what happened. But
I
yeah, so when I'm
understand.
moving here, I was looking for, already was coaching there inside the shooter box. Yes, more kind of helping classes. I was the helper coach. I had my family business. So since I started training, there was more for hobby and fun, and not too much like today. Everybody come to the gym with a goal, I want to be a fighter. That time we don't had that dream. We training for fun, we training, like I say, to be safe out there.
Yeah.
And I teach in classes inside when coach is going travel, so someone need to hold the classes. I was one of those that holding the classes that give him the experience to be a coach. It then started giving me. I started born there. I started to grow that passion for coaching, and when I moved here, I knew this is what I'm gonna do for life now.
I see. I see. And that retinal detachment injury, I mean, was that the result of a fight, coach?
That was result of the training. Probably fight. I don't had the one strike
Mm.
that did the problem. It was one dark spot in my vision that started to grow in months to the point saying, no, I need to check this, and I check it, and the doctor find out it was. So was probably many punches. I started training in 95. In that time,
Wow.
in Brazil, it's a third world country. We don't have gloves. We don't have the shin pads. We don't have the basically. It was gauze and mouthpiece and go.
Wow. Wow.
And the training was way more brutal. Yeah, especially in that gym, that
Yeah.
we shoot the box always was famous for the violent training. That was true for one guy like me that was 125 pounds walking around. It had to go in that level against any weight, anyone. The injury is coming,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And a lot of people, I mean, martial arts does a lot for them, gives them a lot of direction. I mean, besides now your employment, your career, you're opening up your own gym. I mean, what do you think martial arts did for you as a person?
As a person, they're giving me a center, a balance, they're helping me. First of all, like I say, I was a little bit a troublemaker out before the gym. It wasn't the gym that made me that. The gym giving me, like, when I step in the gym the first week, it was like a shock. Like I was a badass, it turned in basically a punching bag. You know what I mean? Like, I was so confident. I go to the gym, man, I was like beat it like a little baby for weeks, months, years. Inside the time, you start getting better. You start passing forward the favor, but you still getting beaten all the way, So that gave me a idea that martial arts, you need the discipline, you need the respect, especially respect, because inside the one gym like that, if you don't respect, you already get beaten anyways. But if you don't respect the people, you're gonna, they kill you for real. Wow. So that gave me the discipline to go back after the beats, give me the respect for others, respect for martial arts, because they teaching inside there was full martial arts, was a bunch of fighters, killers, but the martial arts philosophy is since day one, have hierarchy, respect, discipline, honor. You basically, you fight for that flag with all you have, because they give you so much for everybody.
I see. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Fighters Rep podcast. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon next to it. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, some Saturdays now during the quarantine. And we're here with the fantastic Coach Gerson Scchilepacke, owner and head trainer at Fight Solutions HQ. Definitely give them a follow on Instagram. Right there is their handle on the bottom of your screen, Fight Solutions HQ. They also have a wonderful page on Facebook, and you can reach out to them and find out, if you're living in the Long Beach area, how you can become a fighter. Coach Gerson, what is kind of the discipline that you kind of focus on in your gym, or is it just a gym for anyone that wants to study any sort of martial art there?
We are open for everybody. I have guys that training here for 10 years and never step in the ring and never thinking about it. I have guys that training for 5 years with the idea that now I just want this for self-defense. I just want to change my body, lose some weight. And now is one of my best fighters. But we we don't have too much classes, different level classes, like this class is only for beginners, that class is only for pros. I train most of the classes is everybody together. So everybody have the chance the learning the same than one pro fighter, but have the chance to see him moving and copy him. So have a give and take between them. He give the chance the pro fighter to slow down, do his technique slow, develop balance, control when he's training with a beginner. But we have then the training specific for fighters, like it's 3 or 4 days is only for fighters, then is more pushy. But the most of our classes is for everybody. So we are a gym for everybody.
Very cool. I guess my question then is, what is your base? I mean, coming from that base in Curitiba, are you more of a, would you say, kickboxer, Muay Thai fighter, MMA? What is kind of your focus?
Coming from there, we call Muay Thai there, but this kind of more aggressive kickboxing, a Muay Thai too, but focusing MMA. So my background is full striking for MMA or Muay Thai. Sure, I'm moving here. I have a passion for Muay Thai. That is my passion. Teaching MMA. MMA is what I learned since day one, and developed the striking and the grappling, but striking was my main focus. When I moved in here, I kind of started seeing that I had to upgrade myself for one Muay Thai more traditional, or more clean Muay Thai than I had. So inside all these years here, now I have guys fighting in Muay Thai in high level against any fighter from any traditional Muay Thai gym, toe to toe, because I upgrade myself for the traditional Muay Thai. But my background, it is striking. I can teach in striking for Muay Thai, striking for MMA, striking for any combat sport with adaptations.
And you have fighters at your gym right now that compete in all of those disciplines. Is that right?
Yes, I have MMA fighters, I have Muay Thai fighters, I have jiu-jitsu fighters.
Very
All
cool.
levels.
Very cool. So, we had the pleasure of working with Anthony Workin, somebody who I really enjoyed working with, a very good fighter, a very professional guy too, very responsible. Really looking forward to having him back on a show, hopefully. But who else is it that you've worked with? I've seen pictures on your Instagram with Michael Bisping and people like that. I mean, who are some other people you've had the pleasure of working with?
The first contact with the big fighter, American, decided, there and here, I train in many big names, but not the full training. Come and go, come and do some classes, do some privates and go. The first opportunity I had to fight the head one big fighter was Evan Turner in 2007, 1 year after I moved here. He was preparing himself to do his returning to the UFC. So he did like 3 weeks training with me and the coach Gazi from Gazi Academy in Huntington Beach, where was the gym where I was teaching Muay Thai. So we did was my first experience. Then on the years come and go, a lot of people. Michael Bisping is the one that stick around more time. I training him 4 years. Wow. I was his striking coach for 4 years. Since I started, the first time I training him was when he was on the reality show as a coach. He was fighting Jason Miller. And they brought me in to, I did like few privates with him to help out, but more as a helper. Then past few fights, he's losing the fight for Belfort.
Yeah.
After the fight is when Audi, his manager, contacted me and we signed contracts and I step in as a official coach on the camp for Muay Thai, and then later for helping MMA too. And I training him. My first camp, full camp, was him against Alan Belcher.
Wow.
Then in New York, he won. Was a really striking clinic there for the fight because Belcher is grappler, but he's really good striker too. Then after that came Mark Munoz. We did a full camp on like 10 days before the fight. Michael Bisping found his eye detachment too, the retina detachment.
Wow.
So that fight ended up not happening, but it was a full camp going. He was flying around. And he's back from the injury like a year later, probably. And then he did the fight against Tim Kennedy. Then lose the fight by submission, I think, third round. Then he's coming for Kong Lee. Kong Lee was probably my best camp with him. Because Kong Lee, he's a killer striker.
Yeah.
And sit all in my lap to, help develop plans and everything. And my main focus was stop his spin kicks and, and we did nail that. Michael Bisping, a lot of people say was his best fight of his career.
Wow, nice.
And was in China. I didn't corner in the fight because I was filming a reality show in my gym and I was under contract. I could not left the country because the reality show, but he was awesome. He's even after the fight for Joe Rogan there, thanking me for helping on the camp, So it was good. And then my last camp with him was when he fought the first fight against Luke Rockhold.
Yeah.
That was my last camp because after the fight, I had my last eye surgery in Brazil. There was a full cornea transplant. and took me like few months to coming back. When I came back, I started preparing. My own fighters was already complaining because I was spending too much time in Bisping camp. You know, was 3 times a week, 2 times a day, basically. So I was taking too much time, but it was great. But then came the time we decided to open the second location. You know, there was my second location that was in Redondo Beach. Then I had no more time to, you know, be out of my gym because the camps for Michael wasn't here. Was on the Ruka gym in Costa Mesa because he's living far south. Was too long to come in here. Yeah. Then we decided, you know, let's find a middle ground. Yeah. Ruka was right between me and him, and he's in Ruka, so we end up doing theirs. Take time, you know, but was a good time for me. I learned a lot, especially how working with the other coaches. You know, I'm kind of micromanaging my work. You know, I like the supervising. I like the be on top of my game. You know, like you said, I'm very professional. I don't do nothing that I can't give my 100%. Yeah. So training other fighters that have 3-4 different coaches, all top level coaches. You know, we never had a problem, but for me it was like a learning process, especially in the first and second camp when we know each other, start working better together. So that gave me that experience, the working better with the other coaches, thing I'm not used to. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm the same way. I totally understand. I mean, we like to do our own thing. We have our business. We do things our way. And sometimes when you know you have to work with somebody else, it can get a little sticky. But I'm glad you worked with that. Also, you know, not a horrible thing, Gerson, the experience of working with a guy who eventually became middleweight champion of the world.
Yes, man. It was tough, you know, for the striking coach. Okay, I have a lot of experience. I have like right now 25 years experience. But when I started training Bisping, he's already was top 3 in the world. Yeah. You know, before being a UFC fighter or a MMA fighter, he's already was 2 times kickboxing world champion. Yeah. So you needed to know your thing when you get that kind of level of coaching. You know, you can't just bullshit around. Sorry, the English. You know,
it's good.
You need to know your thing. Unfortunately, is top level fighter that can call a bad coach in 1 week. You know, So was a little pressure on the start, but where I came from, all the experience, it could not be wrong.
Yeah, you know, and I noticed the professionalism in working with your camp, something I really appreciate, Coach Gerson, because obviously, I mean, as a newer promotion, I've dealt with a lot of kind of craziness. Let's just call it craziness. I've dealt with a lot of silliness and craziness, and I appreciate the professionalism from you and your camp. One thing that I wanted to point out that I really love, and I think your professionalism translates into it, is, man, that logo you have. I think your logo is one of my favorite logos of all the fantastic camps we have in Southern California here. So, so if you guys check out the Fight Solutions logo he's got on his shirt right there, definitely a favorite of mine.
You know, that logo took us so long. Me and my wife, we designed. You know, I came with the idea, she's tweaking out. Change more, she's changing more. We go back and forth for months to coming together. But glad that came the right way you want.
Yeah, and I mean, you have that huge version of it on your wall, which we were able to utilize in our commercial, and I thought it looked very cool. Another thing I wanted to ask you, Coach Gerson, I mean, it's pretty coincidental. I would say it's almost destiny level coincidental that you worked with Michael Bisping, who had a detached retina, and that's kind of the same thing that ended your career. I mean, how did that experience kind of help you?
It wasn't just me and him. In that camp, Jason Parillo, the boxing coach, have the retina detachment ended his career too. Yeah, so was kind of weird, you know, like I had his Bisping, but was good because we was able to understanding more, I think, what he was going through, and help a little bit, because even after that retina detachment, he's fought how many fights, there was a little bit more understanding of the training that put it to him, the stress they put over him in training, the careful to don't damage more or things like that. So I think that the bad experience that me and Parillo had in that time helped him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he's come out since his retirement and basically, pulled his eyeball out of his head. He was basically fighting with one eye at some point. Am I right?
He was fighting with one eye most of the fights.
Wow, man. Wow.
But he's had the eye. I think he's did the full surgery to remove the eye. It was kind of probably after end of the career. But he's already was fighting with the one eye blind. Even on the first fight where he's fought Luke Rockhold, he had a cut over the eye 1 week before the fight. He was kind of leaving to Australia on Tuesday, and he's end up had a little cut over the good eye on Monday, so he's already fly still with the fresh stitches. In the fight, when he started the fight, I don't know if Rockhold knew or some young guy, but you can see on the fight, started the fight, first round, under 1 minute, Rockhold headbutt him in the cut.
Wow.
And the blood started to go over the good eye. And the other eye wasn't good. So Bisping fought the fight basically blind.
My goodness.
Goodness. You can see he's like lost the temper he was because he could not see in the fight. That was what dictated that loss. That he was glad his payback later he got the belt from.
One of the best comeback fights ever, and I think one of the biggest feel good moments in UFC history, or one of them that he finally was able to win a title, and it was almost like everybody he lost to had cheated at some point as well.
Yeah, he's was the guy that fight anyone, anytime. He then have the cheaters on the go, and man, he's deserved that belt.
Yeah.
By the work ethic he's have. He's a guy that really have a stronger working ethics, and he's deserved it.
Yeah. Well, Coach Gerson, can you kind of take me inside that injury from your own experience? Let's talk about it now. You said you've had like 5 surgeries on the eye. Can you see out of your eye? How's your eye doing?
I see just the dark shadows. I can't. It's basically a lost eye. I see light, but shadows. I don't have any definition or any vision that I can use it for nothing, basically, in the eye. It's a tough injury, man. First, the surgery is not easy. Depends where is the detachment. In my case, I had after the first surgery, I had to stay seated for 20 days. I could not lay down. I could not walk most. It's kind of sitting and stay 20 days without any crazy move. So, man, it's tough recovery. You lose the eye. When you do the surgery, he's turning off, then he started coming back little by little, It's a really scary injury. And basically, in my time, the doctors already say, look, you can't have any contact in the eye. You can't. If your eye pressure go up, you can detach again. But, you love what you do. I step in the gym again, and after 6 months, detach again from nowhere. That detach without any touch. So I did the other surgery. Took me more 1 year to coming back to training, avoiding sparring, yes, but training. And I had the cataracta because it was kind of a reaction from the gas they put inside your eye to retouch the retina. So I did that surgery, but I did it here in the USA. I moved. There was when I moved to the USA. I did the surgery here, and stay here. And then holding pads one day in the gym for a student in Huntington Beach already. I end up hitting myself. The guy was supposed to be a straight. He throw a hook. The pad hit my eye. Detach again.
Oh my God.
Then we go again for surgery. And then the last one was like a few years back when there's so many surgeries, my cornea, it is the front of the eye, could not handle anymore, the stitches and surgeries. Then I had to do a cornea transplant in Brazil. That was the last one.
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah.
The fact, the fact that he was able to continue to fight and win a belt with that is incredible to me. When was it that it happened to him exactly? I mean, did he confirm with you that it happened after the Vitor fight, or?
This basically, he said he's felt something when he's fought Alan Belcher. He's felt it, but he don't want to say nothing to nobody. He's avoided because he already knew what's coming, basically. But he's, felt in that fight by what I remember. Yeah. And then in camp, he is really detached on the last weeks before Mark Munoz.
I see. Wow.
That was was like a shock for everybody, because it's hard to see a guy in that level with a career that he's having and a possible career threatening like that, like boom, from one day to the other, get the call, say, look, coach, the camp is off because I detached my retina. Whoa, was a shock week for everybody.
Yeah. You mentioned going back to Brazil to get, I think, the last surgery or the cornea replacement. I wanted to ask you, I'm curious, because, down in Miami, we had a lot of Brazilians. Of course, it's much closer to South America, is Florida. What brought you all the way to Los Angeles, Coach Gerson?
I had a lot of friends in San Diego. I moved here back in the day in '98. I moved to kind of travel around this, so I end up going to New York, Boston, Maine. I end up in Maine, then fly back to Brazil after like 8 months. Then this time I say, no, I can't handle snow, I don't want to deal with cold. I'm Brazilian, so I look at my friends in San Diego. The guy say, coming by, man. The summer is about to start, so come to San Diego. Then I came to San Diego, stay few months. Love California, man, it's so, especially San Diego, man, that place is awesome too. But then, you party like a rock star, you enjoy your life, the money going low, then say, I'm back to Brazil, what I gonna do? End up back in Boston for a few months, made some money there, looking for gyms to teach and could not find the gyms, especially because I had no papers, I have no English in that time, basically English. It was tough to find a gym let's give a chance to this guy. But then I ended up going to Boston, looking for gyms there, could not find it, because there have a lot more Brazilians too, it's easier there. And then one friend of mine that was Shootbox called me, hey, I have a gym here, I don't want to teach in this gym anymore, I want to teach in Huntington, I just gonna teach in Los Angeles, you want to come in? I say, well, that's it, next week. Right next week I was in Huntington already teaching. I really set my foot in California.
Very nice. And when did Fight Solutions HQ start? I think you said you've been there about a decade, or maybe more. I mean, kind of tell me how Fight Solutions HQ started.
We opened this gym in 2009 under Shootbox. I was the head coach for Shootbox in the US. I basically built a base, a solid base for the team here. In 2018, when I opened my second gym in Redondo Beach, was a big location, bigger than this one. They start charging me more, fees, and I didn't agree with that. Decided left. So when I leave the Shootbox, we prepared the fight solutions, we put it all together. Since it was all mine anyways, I just was representing the team, but I'll build it under my own money. I never got $1 for nobody from Shooter Box to help me to open any gym or any job. So it was all my investment. And then later my investment with my wife. And so we decided, you know what, it's time for me to be my own coach, like have my own team. Already was solid. Everybody already knew me in California or even the USA. I've been around for a long time, So I say, Fight Solutions, we came to the name, we came to the logo. In 1 month, I had to remodeling Long Beach location because it was already 8, 9, 10 years, 8 years basically, with same mat. So when we decided change the names, I closed the gym for like 1 month and a half, and we rebuilt the gym from ground to the ceiling. Everything new, every new name, new everything. From there, we start as Fight Solutions.
Very nice. And another thing that I'm really excited about is, you've got a lot of young fighters coming up there and training as well, and that kind of that's kind of what's piquing my interest. It's being is that we do pro-am fights. And so, I was wondering besides the young guys, even the older guys, who do you have there that you think we should look out for in the future? Some guys that you think might make some noise in the fight game?
I like the working, developing the fighter.
Yeah.
A lot of coaches they have open doors where other fighters from other gyms coming and training and go and fight under him and fighting under other coaches. I really like the develop my guys. So I get kids right now like Anthony. Even Anthony now is a professional fighter, fought for you guys, fought for Lion Fights, many fights already in Muay Thai. He's starting under me with 17 years old. His own daddy brought him by the hand, say, look, he's one training, let's sign this kid up.
Wow.
And now, he's a professional with so many fights and fighting big events, we developed him from day one all the way to where he is right now. I have Donovan Morris. Donovan Morris is a kid now. He's like 20 years old. He start with me with 14, same situation. His daddy came and say, look, he's wanted to be a fighter. I want him to be a fighter. And I need someone that's going to develop him to be in the UFC in the future. So I've been working with him. So far, that kid is a killer. But he is one of those guys that nobody wanna fight in California, basically. In Muay Thai, in MMA, in California, we had a hard time to match him last year. So we had to bring him to Canada. We found one event in Canada, BFL, big event in Canada there, brought the amateur to fight there. Everybody said, no, that is a scam. Nobody bring amateurs to international fights and things. They did it, but was a catch. We had to fight the champion on the weight. That was the last fight as amateur. Nobody wanna fight that guy in Canada, and they say, you know what? We need developing a fight means taking risks. I can't give it just to easy fighters, feed or egos. Even when he's get that kind of level, be exposed. So we going there. Was the only fight he's losing MMA. Got caught in one punch there. It was a downhill after that, but it was a good learning because I could see that even like after going down as a knockdown, he's keep fighting, committing few mistakes because he was trying to keep it going. So show one thing that in Muay Thai he's never felt. 11, 12 fights in Muay Thai, a lot of knockouts. He already was fighting adults when he was 17 years old because no underage want to fight him in that time already. So he is big promising because he's a guy that living for training, living for career, have the family support. He's living right. We rent a studio right behind the gym, so he's just to do college. From the college training and coaching. I help him giving spots for his coaching to make some money, but he's living for the career.
Wow. I love it. And hopefully we can find him a fight if he ever wants to do kickboxing. You know what I mean?
Yes, I don't like the keep jumping between martial arts, because Muay Thai, Muay Thai is one thing, kickboxing is other, MMA, completely different rules, different, I don't like it. They prepare him for MMA, and then throw him for the striking. It's kind of, especially in the level of his fighting, it's not anyone who's fighting him for sure gonna be a top level fighter.
I understand.
Little mistakes and little confusing of what combo, how are gonna work, how are gonna, distance is high, distance is tall, is short, we're gonna move more, we're gonna sit more. All this changing, that can cost a fight for him.
I see. So, I mean, he's more, than dedicated towards MMA. Is that what he's looking to do? UFC, you said?
Yes. What the plan for my fighters is, I start everybody, especially the young ones, because the under 18 don't have MMA in California or in the West. In most of California don't have MMA. Have pancreation, was is like, I don't like the lose timing on that. Nothing against the who's do it. I just don't think it's for us. I prefer start then in Muay Thai because it's real. It's punches, kicks, out to the face. It's real combat. So I started my kids with 80 years old fighting Muay Thai all the way to 17. When they hit the 17, ended the Muay Thai career basically. It then I preparing them for debut in that 1 year and a half. But they already training Muay Thai, training wrestling, training jiu-jitsu all this time. They just fight Muay Thai, but training everything. Then when the 17 to 18, I have time to just put it together. And now debut in amateur MMA. And then from there, go MMA all the way.
Gotcha. And do you have, dedicated jiu-jitsu and wrestling coaches at your gym, or are you kind of doing everything over there?
I do the Muay Thai, the MMA, the wrestling, because since I'm moving here, I'm running after what I'm missing in my own learning, in Brazil, wrestling is not even closer to what it is in the West. So when I'm moving here, I'm working in boxing, I'm working wrestling, adapting myself. Upgrade myself with the things I was missing. So now I have a level to teach in boxing, level to teach in Muay Thai, MMA, wrestling. Jiu-jitsu, since I could teach in jiu-jitsu, but I never training for MMA, so no gi jiu-jitsu. So I believe that the good technique coming from gi. So in my gym, since day one, I always have a black belt jiu-jitsu coach to do that specific jiu-jitsu training. Because it's too much just for me. And have people that can do a better job with a gi and develop what they need in gi. So I always have a black belt jiu-jitsu teaching my gyms.
Very cool, Coach Gerson. Any other young stars that we should look out for coming out of Fight Solutions?
Man, we have Evan, the next 3 ones, they starting with me with 9 years old and now is like hitting 16. I have 2 girls. It's Evany Messina. She's 5 wins, 1 loss in Muay Thai. National champion 2019.
Wow.
Destiny Moreno. She's 16. She's 6-0 in Muay Thai. National Muay Thai champion 2018 and 2019. I have Raul Leiva. He's 15 to 16. 4-1 Muay Thai. 2019 national champion. Then I have Fabian Hernandez. He's like 4-2 now. He's losing 1 fight this year by split decision, and he's like 20 years old, but he's other one that have a lot of potential. I have many guys, it's hard to put everybody, but that is the ones that I've been so far seeing living to building career.
Wow.
Is that way.
And you know, for those kind of accomplishments to happen, I mean, it's a big deal because I always try to tell people, you know, here in California, I think we've got some of the most talented camps and fighters in the whole world. So I mean, when you guys are going out there and fighting, you know, you're not fighting a tomato can. You know, you're fighting
No,
some tough kids, right?
always, especially with the name I had, I represented before.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
transitioning for fight solutions. So everybody go there, you Google the coach. That is even the you can't find it so much about the fighter. You Google the coach, say, oh shit, this is gonna be a tough one. So we have a hard time to find the opponents. This is not I made it up just to looking good, but we have a hard time too, especially this DJ, Evan, and Destiny. These three is really hard to find the opponents. The girls in 2018 have like only 2 fights because nobody wanna fight. So the fights we end up finding is or the girl's a little older, or the girl's a little strong, heavier, or the girl have more experience. Like Evan lose the 2018 the first fight in US Muay Thai Open, that was the Nationals. And then she was 0-1. Nobody wanna fight in her anyways because the gym name. She's ended up finding a fight on the US KO in Riverside against one girl that was 7-1.
Wow.
Even for the IKF allowed the fight, I had to send the videos to Bambam, the people that said, look, the girl is 0-1, but look at her. And then they approved the fight and she's go there, won. And then they asking the rematch because he could not believe him. We go there, he beat her again for the belt then. So that girl is unbelievable. Is UFC material, training jiu-jitsu, training wrestling, training Muay Thai. She's conditioning, is for sure 18 years old, gonna be fighting 1 or 2 just to turn in pro, go all the way already.
Wow. You must be very excited, you know, to have this kind of talent and to be developing this kind of talent in your gym, Coach Gerson.
It is. The only problem is when they hit this age they are right now, 16 to 18, 20, when they start the high school friends and, you start having boyfriend, girlfriend, they go out, and there is when a lot of people get lost. I had a lot more talents here before that right now, past the age, talent could be really far away on the career, but got lost. I hope, like Donovan right now, he's completely focused. The guy 100% focused, have his family behind, so I know he is one that 100% go all the way. The others hit the age right now, 15, 16, 17. I hope they still focus. I hope they understand that they have all life to enjoy, but the athlete in high level, you have a little window. If you lose it, the window is over.
Yeah, well, I agree with that 100%. And, I look forward. I mean, I'm right in San Pedro. I'm actually just over the bridge from you. And, obviously we do the fights in Seal Beach, which is also adjacent to Long Beach. We're looking at some other locations as well. And I really look forward to continuing to work with you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Continue to join us. Join Knucklehead Nation. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And we're here with Coach Gerson, Grilo Schilipack, owner, head trainer at Fight Solutions HQ. Coach Gerson, before I let you go, I wanted to ask what the Grilo name means. I mean, I'm my Portuguese is not that good. Is that a Portuguese nickname?
Yes, Grilo means cricket.
Oh, okay.
So, but that was a childhood. Since I was probably 8, 9 years old, my friends from the street already calling me Grilo. I don't know why. Maybe because I was too skinny and jumping a lot. I don't know. But always it was Grilo.
I love it. And, I want to thank you for your time. I mean, it's been a very fascinating interview and a different way to get to know somebody during a quarantine. So I'm glad you gave us that opportunity. Is there anyone you want to shout out or anything you want to say before I let you go, Coach Gerson?
I needed to shout out first to God. God is my main, lead. I go by his words. So thank you, God, for all what he's gave me. in a new land, a stranger in a new land, and he's been blessing me so good, so much. And I need to say thank you to my wife, to Natasha. She's my right arm here. I'm the brain, and she is the one that execute my ideas, what is not just few ones. I keep her busy a lot, and she's really take the lead and do all the behind the scenes, and I teaching, and she runs basically most of the gym, and my students, like without my main guys, I could not do what I'm doing, like I have guys teaching classes that I can't teaching anymore because I'm so busy with the fighters and travel and everything. And they are big supporters, big helpers, and like I say, it's not a show, the one person. It's many people behind the scenes make what Fight Solutions is today. That is my students, the higher level fighters and students I have, my wife, family, and God.
Yeah, well, greatly appreciated, and I definitely understand all of that, especially the part you said about takes a lot of people behind the scenes to make things happen. So anyway, knuckleheads, thank you all so much for joining me and Coach Gerson tonight on the Fighters Rep podcast. Again, be sure to follow him and his amazing gym at Fight Solutions HQ. Keep paying your gym membership, guys. Once this quarantine's done. Once this quarantine's done, we're all going to have to go back somewhere to train. And, I'm sure if you're a good, solid gym like Coach Gerson's, where they've got, Zoom classes and online classes, definitely join if you haven't already. Keep yourself busy. But knuckleheads, that's all we've got for this evening. Thank you for joining us. And on behalf of me and Coach Gerson, we're out of here. Keep it clean. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, George, for giving the opportunity to us all.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you, Coach.